I've made a ton of money in crypto, tens of thousands of dollars. I've also lost tens of thousands of dollars. So where do I dive in? Let's go ahead and get some tunes going, right? Let's learn some blockchain together. I think blockchain is super important. What I want this series to be about, this is going to be a multitude of stuff, right? We're going to learn engineering concepts. It's going to extend beyond that, though. I also want to teach you guys some other things, right? Like, what gives me the permission to start teaching blockchain or even learning blockchain alongside of you guys? Well, for starters, I've done a lot of cryptocurrency builds. Not huge ones by any means. Like you guys are going to see that, I could definitely have learned more in the crypto ecosystem. But what I do have is a degree in economics. I do have a granular understanding of the cryptocurrency market. I've made a ton of money in crypto, tens of thousands of dollars. I've also lost tens of thousands of dollars. And I have an old YouTube channel. I was just scouring for the video somewhere where I called the top in the last cycle, studying all these charts and maybe a little bit of luck, but I'm okay at economics, guys. So I think what I want this series to be about is not only an engineering aspect, but a conceptual aspect of blockchain, of why it could be useful, and to also get rid of some of the hype about it. I think the magical word of blockchain is so big, and this umbrella of technology is such a riveting idea. But some of it could just be looked at through an engineering scope and through a different lens. So what I want this entire series to be about is from zero to being a professional blockchain engineer, right? And that's what we're going to learn together, guys. Obviously, I have a lot of engineering experience, but I also wanted to extend beyond that. If you're a non-engineer, I want this to also be a relevant course or series of episodes to you, where maybe you just kind of come along, you hang out, listen to some concepts, we break down some charts, we look over some stuff. So let's dive in, because this is going to be a long series, and I want it to be first of all entertaining. Like come here, let's hang out. But the second thing, I only want to work on it with you guys, meaning everything's going to be recorded from this is episode 1, and I want let's say we get to episode 50. I want you guys to be able to literally go through every single episode, 43, 26, and whichever gaps you need filled in your knowledge, you could start from episode 1 and watch them in series, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, so on and so forth, where your knowledge gets expanded. Where not only are we covering, as I mentioned, some charting concepts, some economic concepts, but also building engineering tech stacks, whether we're choosing, and I haven't made the decision yet whether we want to build something on Solana or Ethereum's platform. Or protocol rather, whether we want to use Solidity or Rust. So these are going to be kind of these tech questions that I'm going to answer across time. So, and we're going to do it with the lovely help of some of these sound patches. And it's going to be a good time. So let's dive in. I know the cryptocurrency market is slowly heating up a little, and it's looking promising, guys. But just for starters, before diving into engineering, before we dive into the code base, before we start picking up these blockchain concepts and how some of these transactions work, and hashing and hashing functions and all these things, let's just talk about engineering or excuse me, economic concepts as a whole. So step 1, I am not in a position to give you any sort of financial advice. I think your financial advisors, things like that is important for you to assess, right? You have your own risk metrics. Some people might have kids, some people might not have kids, some people might have a mortgage, some people might not have a mortgage. Basically what I'm trying to communicate is you have different risk tolerances. So there's different investing strategies for different people. And by no means do I want to talk about this as an investing channel. At least in the regards of me giving direct advice. All I can inference on are charts, ideas, and engineering. I don't want to cross the threshold of all that other stuff. So that's kind of a huge preface to all of this. The next bit is what engineering experience have I had to talk on blockchain. So currently I'm building a native application for a blockchain protocol, and it is going phenomenal. So that's something that I want to highlight as well, is I do have a little bit of experience, but I want this series to literally be from broken down to the most granular steps of we don't know anything about blockchain to we're going to get to down the road, hopefully, like let's say at episode 50, maybe we'll have to watch back to episode 1 to see if this projection works, right? But episode 50, we've built a full crypto DAO or something, or a full functioning Uniswap system that goes beyond kind of a YouTube tutorial, not just like a 2-hour deal, but a full system rather. That looks good, it's intuitive, and we're talking about all the tech with smart contracts, hashing functions, building something secure and looking good, right? Or who knows, maybe it'll be a token trading bot. I have no idea. I have no idea what we're going to build, but hopefully episode 50, we can look back at episode 1 and say we did something of substance. So guys, that's a little bit of my credibility. That's a little bit about me, and a little bit of what I hope to build with this series, and to have some fun with it. So, I thought that would stop the jams, but let's dive into some just bird's eye view token economics that I want to offload to you guys. Again, have a degree in economics, but let's not even get all fancy dancy. Let's just talk about basic shapes and looking at the market where it is today. So here we have a 2-year moving average multiplier. And I actually want to look at a different chart. I want to look at the 200-week moving average. The 200-week moving average, this is kind of a heat index, right, of how the crypto market's doing. So we have the actual price, and what it is the price away from the moving average. That's how these colored dots are colored. This kind of solid line below, this is our moving average. This is going to be the 200-week moving average across an entire cycle, if you will, or just the 200-week moving average. So let's break this down. And let's see the 200-week moving average across historic standards. And this isn't an indicator of the future, but the 200-week moving average across historic standards has roughly been the bottom of any bear cycle, right? So when we look at the bear markets, they're typically closer to the 200-week moving average, and we were just in a pretty big bear market, and you could see that we're still roughly around the 200-week moving average, though Bitcoin has absolutely shot up, the last 2 or 3 months or so. But you could see that this 200-week moving chart is maybe something we could play off of in a crypto build down the road. It could be something to, maybe we'll use fake money. We'll use the Ropsten network or one of the Ethereum's test networks to maybe trade something against the 200-week moving average potentially, right? So there's an idea we could build there. It would be a little difficult, but that could be something, maybe like a trading bot or something. But I just want to acknowledge some of these economic things for you guys and observe them. There's the Pi cycle top indicator, and this is what I use to largely call the top of the last market was when this indicator was met. This was roughly when these two lines crossed or touched, if you will. That's roughly when the market, it was time to start packing things up or start taking bear positions. Now do as you wish, right? There's different strategies. People are doing long-term investing approaches. People are doing short-term day trades. Like, I have no idea what your approaches are. Do not take my advice on any investing terms. I don't know your risk tolerances. But what I do want to do is point at these tools and say, from an informational tool network, we might be able to build something out of these things. So that's kind of the idea of using some of this economics knowledge maybe accumulation of a few of these things together. But because it's all kind of fancy words, logarithmic curves, hashing functions, all this stuff. But end of the day, if we could just look at a chart and say, oh, we're farther away from the average, well, let's build something that understands that. Then, oh, we're closer to the average. Well, let's build something that understands that. We don't need to be all fancy dancy. I got a degree and all. Let's unpack these things in a smaller, bite-sized metric, if you will. So I want to have some of the series about that. The next thing that we do need to do is kind of build this roadmap, right? This blockchain roadmap of an idea we want to build. So I'll start there, right? We want to build something kind of cool by episode 50-ish, right? Hopefully it's sooner, you know what I mean? But guys, I'm kind of, you know, I've only integrated with blockchains. I've vaguely built some small builds, so I'm going to be learning this alongside with you guys, and that's what's kind of exciting about this whole series is it's going to be being built literally on the fly with you guys. So, and I promise this is the biggest promise of the series. Only so kind of rules, right? I guess we'll start with this, right? Rules of the series. Rules of the series, right? Rules. Love them. So we have rules of the series. We want to build something kind of cool by episode 50-ish. Hopefully sooner, as mentioned. Rule number 2, I can only work on any blockchain knowledge, any blockchain builds. I can only work on blockchain things, right? With you guys. So I can only work on blockchain things if it is being recorded. The reason why I'm saying that is because I built TeamSyncer. If anybody's watching from the Code Chronicles playlist, there's some gaps of knowledge, and I did that because TeamSyncer is kind of the SaaS product that I'm onboarding customers with. There's some security stuff. There's, you know, the potential to sell it down the road. So it's not something I want to necessarily, you know. I didn't want to share every process in TeamSyncer, but I do want to share all the knowledge we're learning here. I do want to share all the troubleshooting, all the, well, let's look up Chainlink. Let's look this up. What is a Solana smart contract? What is this? So we're going to do a lot of those things, right? I just played this thing so good. But I'm gonna stop playing music in a moment. Let's zoom in and focus on the thing that needs to be done. So I can only work on blockchain things if it is being recorded. What's another rule of the series, right? No trading or investor advice, right? Let's not. We're not going to get in that territory at all. This is all hopefully just objective engineering advice and just kind of. You know, because there's different strategies. People think it's always about buying. Typically in economics, there's two sides to assets. You could buy, you could sell, you could short, you can long, and there's different risk analyses, and it also depends on people's investing goals, deltas, and things like that. And it's just illegal. You know, it's just crossing that dirty line of like, I'm not your financial advisor. I don't unfortunately know your financial situation. And I don't have, you know, a Series 7 and things like that. So I'm not in a position to give financial advice. So we have no trading or investing advice. We're not going to do that. But another rule of the thing, and this is going to be a great rule, is we have to use TeamSyncer, right? We have to use TeamSyncer in this whole build. So here's TeamSyncer, right? It's my SaaS application for those, if this is a new series for you. You could sign up really effectively. You could build projects here. I had a blockchain project just as a dummy project within this. It wasn't actually real, but it's funny how this is coming to fruition now, where we're gonna actually use this. We're actually going to use this as part of the thing. So we're going to track the project. Let me delete all these tasks real quick, and let's just use this, right? So I'm going to build another column. Let's just see if this thing's actually of substance, right? Put it trial by fire. So we'll say not blockchain, excuse me. This will be the backlog. So that's going to be our first column is backlog, and then we'll say in progress for this column. Guys, this is awesome using my own tool. How cool is that, right? And I think we want to treat this with some sort of let me delete these as well. Drag this one over here. We'll start there. So we want to decide on tech stack, right? What else do we want to do? We want to learn, right? We want to learn. We want to learn blockchain basics, if you will. I think that's an important knowledge, right? What is the blockchain? What is it all about? Let's see. We're kind of in progress of to do what is this? What is this? Covering blockchain charts, right? 200-week moving average, I'll say 200-week MA. Oh, not 200, but 200 moving average. So, guys, there's also tiny bugs. It's like if you want to use TeamSyncer, amazing application, but there's just like you can't drag right here. But if you move your cursor to the top of the card or the bottom of the card, like right here, you can drag it. So it's tiny things that I'm going to iron out across time as well. So hopefully by episode 50, again, some people who are onboarded by episode 22 or so, they can see this, and it's all these things will be completely ironed out. So we have to use TeamSyncer. Maybe one other thing is we have to generate reports, right? Weekly reports. I think that's an amazing function of TeamSyncer is being able to generate a report to see the progress being done. We have to document the notes. So document notes. And I think I want to do this so I can actually share the link with you guys on the notes. So here's an example of the blockchain project, and this was just a dummy thing in TeamSyncer. It's amazing that this is actually all coming full circle, if you will. So we want to generate reports where I could share them with you guys, like with each episode. So the episodes, they need to have document notes, generate reports. We need to share information in a time-sensitive way where if it's a repository, you guys have like episode 1's repository, right, on GitHub, or episode 2's repository, or you have the information associated to episode 1, right? Or if we're on episode 12 and we're building some sort of build with related to software or related to something, I want you guys to make sure it's episode 12's material, right? Does that make sense? So if I'm working on a code base, but then I'm on episode 50, but someone's watching on episode 12, I need to make sure that you still have access to the data that was on episode 12 versus if I've updated the code base to episode 50 and you're trying to follow along, it's going to be tremendously difficult because there's going to be 30 episodes of software being wrote that you're not going to be able to keep up with. So that's important. Share information associated to each episode. So whether it is these reports, whether it is documentation, whether it is software code itself, that's going to be bundled up in each episode. It needs to be. So that's going to be rules. Another rule of the series. Let's see what we got. We got to do rock star stuff, being a rock star, That is my song, by the way. That is my song from back in the music days. It's called Pop Star by Pags. But anyway, let's focus on a few of these things. So we need to use TeamSyncer. We need to share information associated with each episode. And we need to, to-do list wise, we need to, we're in my first project. Let's navigate to the blockchain project. Should be popping up here. What's going on? Come on. Oh, did we put that in the first project? Oh, we must have, or I must have. So this actually needs to be in the blockchain project. So let me update all these columns real quick. So backlog, we have to do, in progress, and we have done. Look how easy that is, just to use this thing, just quickly rename and stuff. So again, we have that first task, decide on tech stack. So that's something we need to do over here. Is it? Do we want to build something on Solana? I met an engineer who works on Solana. So that would be potentially a tremendously useful tool for us, right? Navigating this. So we have decide on tech stack, learn blockchain basics. So I just, again, want us doing that. And then we have charting stuff. So, sorry guys, don't mean to retype this. But again, I do want this to be a legitimate beginner-friendly thing. So even if you're not an engineer, I want it to be broken down in a way where you can learn and follow along as well. So blockchain basics. And then we have, let's see, what was the last one? 200-week moving average, so I'll say charting and 200-week moving average. I think that'll get us enough stuff. So what else do we need to do? Make sure make sure episodes have content associated with them, bundled with them, I'll say. Nice. This is just so awesome. You know what I mean? An in-house tool right here. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy, guys. So we need to decide Solana versus ETH, right, as a tech stack. I'll even say that's not really the tech stack. Tech stack, I'm going to say, is more, do we want to use like a Next.js? Do we want to use a Nux? Do we want to use Angular? Do we want to use Python? Do we want to use some sort of JavaScript or Rust ecosystem? What do we want to do? So the biggest thing before even deciding tech stack is ETH versus Solana. Let's maybe do some homework on that, and I need to see which direction I want to go and why. So we have blockchain basics. We want to learn hashing functions, and kind of the next step. So we have blockchain basics. It would be kind of what it's all about, how it's an open ledger. You know, what is a ledger? What is a ledger? What is a blockchain? Which in short, for a quick spoiler, is an open database is effectively what a blockchain is. Hashing functions, which is a function with a secret, basically. Pure function with a secret. Pure function with a secret. I'll explain all these terms too. I know they're kind of confusing. You know, so let's think about those in another fashion down the road, of course, but I just want to give us that roadmap real quick. So blockchain basics. Let's slide this one over to do, and oh gosh, I love that this is just literally a usable thing that I built, so I understand all the use cases of it. So that's so cool. So we do want to say blockchain basics, cover hashing functions, explain hashing functions. We're not even going to write them. We'll just conceptually talk about these things, right? Explain hashing functions. What else do we want? Explain ledger. Explain ledger. What is a ledger? What else could we do? What is a ledger? Explain ledger. Explain blockchain. But that's kind of blockchain basics. So I'll leave that as that tab. Guys, I think that's a great start for the get-go. You know, we're 25 minutes in. I think that's perfect. You know what I mean? I think that's a great start. So go ahead and get ready for episode 2. I'm sure by the time you're watching this, episode 2 is already out. So look for that in this playlist. Let's just make sure that your you're starting yourself and setting yourself up for success. So get on TeamSyncer, right? And I'll show you how easy it is to log in, right? First, let me log out. So it's simple, guys. It's a simple thing. So you just go to teamsyncer.com. I'll link it in the description, of course. And I was going to say maybe we do a community document as well, where we can all build to a document. But I definitely want this to be a community-driven thing as well. So definitely try to help other engineers out. If you see other people commenting on questions or problems, please help them out. Help me out as well. You know, let's build this together. Let's learn blockchain together. So TeamSyncer is going to be a tool. Go to teamsyncer.com, click on go to the application. You have two buttons here, sign in or sign up, and they effectively both do the same thing. They're going to take you to Clerk, my authentication provider. And you could sign in with your federated identity. Keep it easy. That's what I usually do, is just use my Google. And you could click on one of those and it'll pop you into the portal, or it'll give you a data or an email address. So I'll show you what that looks like as well. I'm going to use this website called Yotmail, which is a fake email service, right? So you can kind of generate fake emails, right? Just to see if your authentication or software works. So I'll make a fake email real quick. Do this with your real email, by the way. The reason why I'm doing this is because I already have like 7 TeamSyncer accounts. So I can go ahead and sign up with my email as well. Oh, and if you go here, it's because this is the sign-in portal. We need to go to no account sign up. So go here, boom, pagstest@yotmail.com. I'll just make a password real quick, and I'll say continue. Don't save the password. And then if I check my inbox, I should get a verification code from TeamSyncer. Now, this is only going to happen if you go down the path of signing up with an email. If you sign up with your federated identity, a Google account or something like that, it'll pop you directly into the portal. So after that, it'll take you to this step where it says project signup flow. This is where I want you to name your project signup. So whether it's going to be a Solana build or something like that, or for you as well, your blockchain project, right? The title of your thing. So blockchain project with Pags, right? And that's going to be the title of your project. You could sign up here. It should create the project effortlessly. Boom, great name. And you can tell me a bit about your project. This is a follow along with Pags from his YouTube channel, right? And this, just give it a little description. Very excited to learn blockchain. Finish, boom. And this should create your project, your description, and you now have access to TeamSyncer. You can use the free version. There's totally a free tier, not expensive at all if you want to upgrade to the paid tier either. The paid tier will let you generate reports and things like that, but the free tier, I'm totally going to give it to you guys, especially everyone following along with this series. So if you go ahead and navigate, you have your dashboard page, you have your projects page. The projects page is kind of where you can navigate if you need to delete a project or just monitor how many projects you have, things like this. Dashboard page is used for dashboard analytics, so you could see kind of how far the project's being completed, all these things like that. We'll explain that down the road. But the biggest one that you just noticed is going to be the Kanban page. So right here, you have your columns, if you will, in progress to do, and you guys saw how to rename those. So if you need to build a backlog one as well, go ahead and do that. You just click here, type in what you need, and if you just click off or press enter, and it'll automatically rename it for you. So that's how to use the Kanban page as well. You saw you can click on the tasks. It says you successfully created a task, and you just click right here somewhere around the text. Say, here is my task, whatever it needs to be, and boom, it'll update it for you just as soon as you click off, or I believe press enter as well. So here, no, not if you press enter for this, because you might want to put a bunch of stuff in the text area. So just click off, and it'll update the task to whichever thing you want. So those are going to be the biggest things that you need to use for this series is use the Kanban page, and then also the notes page is probably going to be really important. So this is a follow along. This is that description that we just wrote. If you need to change it, you could go ahead and click that and change it right here. And just press that check mark when you're done editing this. So I needed to change this, right, with whichever content you have. So go ahead and click that. And then there's a project URL that you can add if we end up building, let's say, our own website, and it's like blockchain something, right? Solana crypto bot or something, right? I have no idea. We'll figure this out down the road, but you could use that URL and then we would put it here in the project URL, so it's part of our reports. And then we have this notes section where you can add notes to say, here's my Solana research, right? And the description of the research, maybe Solana. Oh, we chose Solana because of this reason, that reason, and this thing, right? Whichever it may be. And then we can provide a link to maybe Solana's documentation, things like this, right, guys? So I really built this to be an on-the-fly, useful resource. Boom, and it creates the note. And now that's associated with this project. We can always go back to it. We can always check it out. But the biggest things for productivity are going to be this Kanban page, the notes, and the reports by the end of it. So the reports page, you can go ahead and right now you can generate them for free. But I am going to put this behind a paywall if you want to generate reports and keep progressive nominal track of how far we're doing. But if not, just stick with the Kanban page and the notes page. And those things enough will give you a ton of value in organization. Those two things alone. And then if you do want to upgrade, pop down here. There's an upgrade tab. It'll take you to the Stripe portal where you can go ahead and purchase a membership. Right now it's $19. I'm sure more than likely it's going to go up in value. Guys, the reason is I'm adding a ton of business value, a ton of features, and I'm making it a really, really smooth experience. You can see I've already populated your email. I take it from the data. I push it in here into Stripe for you. So you just need to check out. And for right now, it should just be, $19, $20, but I do know that is going to go up, and it could go up significantly. So the business value is there because I'm going to be adding this AI bit. So guys, it's going to go up from like $18 to like $70. So please take advantage of it now. And if you have any bugs right now, you can see right there, I had a bit of a loading bug because I went back from the Stripe page. Just hold shift and refresh your application if you have any issues. I'm going to work on the bugs. I'm not perfect, guys. I'm working my tail off, Sometimes I'm not perfect, But if you do find a bug, feel free to report the issue. Hey, Pags, saw a bug on page such and such, right? And explain it very briefly, right? Or just label it, saw a bug on this page, and then you'll have an opportunity to give it more description. When I tried to check out, right, and scrolled back, the dashboard froze or something, right? Like the dashboard wouldn't load. Just give me a bit of a description so I understand what it is in English terms of what's going on, and then you submit the bug, and here we go. It says thank you so much for the feedback. It's what keeps me going. It makes the experience better for all of us as a community, and and then boom. I look at the bugs, I go through them, and there's been a few users who've reported things. Hey, this was broken. This didn't work. And I do use that as an easy way to say, oh, I need to fix that right now. That's an important thing to fix. So that's Team Syncer as a whole. And I do want to make it as valuable for you guys. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys.
Bing, bing. I love it.
I'll see you in episode 2.
Sitting there tweeting, bing, bing, bing. You press a button.